There is nothing more intimate or rewarding than close friends sharing ideas, thoughts, visions if you will, without regards to ridicule or judgmental assessments based on other people's expectation and dictates. Unfortunately, far too many of us live our lives pleasing others, impressing others, conforming to others, while we have no idea whatsoever who we are, nor do we have any inkling of our amazing powers. What if I told you that you were the center of your universe and you had the power to create your universe in any way you wish? Would you believe me? I think you will one day. Anyway, for now, let me continue by saying, there is nothing more boring than the echoing of nonsense based on dogma and silliness, words and ideas plagiarized from dead pharaohs, and the summarization of what the intellects believed to be the writings of the Sumerians and Gilgamesh. Yet, as a child and a young man, I loved to read. I would read anything and everything I could get my hands on. To me, a book was the greatest gift I could receive. From Grimm's to Solomon, fairy tales were not make-believe, but gateways to my imagination. Thinking now about it all, I would lay on my back. Maybe I was 6 or 7 years old then. But I would lay on my back on the green grass, tropical breeze blowing over my face, and I would stare at the sky. The clouds would change to match my visions, and I could fly. I would suspend my bleak reality, and my thoughts would take wings. Imagination, I learned very early in life, is the greatest faculty of the mind. I was a very poor student nonetheless, because then, as now, parents and teachers were more bent on teaching one how to make a living rather than how to be alive. I was forced to learn useless information that even now I will never use. It seems to me that schools believe that the preparation for making money in conformity far outweigh the need for self-discovery and the development of creativity. Sounds just like our schools today, doesn't it? Strange as it turned out to be, it took the U.S. Navy to excite my imagination and turn fantasies into a reality that the Navy could use. I was taught to be a photographer. As a child, I imagined walking the streets of London, the home of Sherlock Holmes, seeing the magnificent arts of Italy, being in the old forts of the Caribbean where the pirates lived, seeing the sands of the Sahara where Lawrence of Arabia fought, sailing the seas of the Mediterranean where the great thinkers lived, flying in different airplanes all over the world. As a child, my imagination kept me alive and well and very comfortable. As an adult, I saw and lived and experienced everything that I imagined. Unfortunately, my imagination was not big enough. I didn't know then that this world is my world to conquer, and one can never experience having an imagination greater than what he or she can accomplish. But then, as now, I have my imagination. I just wish I had a way to get this one thought across to children and to adults. Your imagination is the greatest faculty of your mind. I am always in awe of creators, thinkers, people who, because of their recorded lifetime, gave us insights into our own spirituality and godliness. We are unique human beings, not fish, not turtle, but very special spiritual beings. Have you noticed people who inspires never insist on being worshipped? People who insist on being worshipped are always suspect. People who inspire, that is, people who touched our very souls were not perfect, but instead they were the best human beings that they could be without sacrificing their humanity. Ordinary people, quite frankly, with extraordinary insight into their own sense of self, showing how much better those to come after them can be. There are so many great souls: Gandhi, Plato, Solomon, Hendricks, Marley, Buddha, Jesus, Fillmore, Khan, Omar Khayyam, Shakespeare, Jefferson, and so on. Great souls who inspired. And on the other side of the coin, there are those who insist on being worshipped. The Pol Pots, the Papa Docs, the Idi Amins, the Hitlers of the world did what they did because we, as people, we forgot the basic rule of enlightenment. That is, the message, never the messenger, is what is really important. The weak is made to worship the man at the expense of their own souls, sometimes their lives. How many people have been tortured, maimed, killed, destroyed in the name of someone who was worshipped? I think that people who inspire were not perfect. They were the best that they could be, and because of their message, their creation, they showed us how much better we can be. For example, does the sexual exploits of Morrison, Ayn Rand, Gauguin, Freddie Mercury, and so on, do their sexual exploits lessen their creativity or their creation? As a matter of fact, were there even sexual exploits? And if there were, do you really care? When you stand before Rodin's thinker, are you not moved? How many words, voices, pieces of music, visual expressions have touched your soul, and you instantly knew of your own brilliance, your own beauty, and your own place in the universe? Speaking about sexual exploits, I have a theory. I think it is very easy to judge an organization's legitimacy or usefulness by their attitude towards sex. Sex is a gift, a beautiful gift for adults, so much so that it is necessary for life itself in most cases. So, if one can be made to think less of their own beautiful gift as human beings by belittling the natural, then these weak-minded people are ripe for exploitation. Why? Because they have forfeited the most important rule of being a unique human being. That is, these three words: be yourself. The very first quest in life we as human beings must pursue is the quest of self-discovery. And when we do find ourselves, we have got to be true to that self. When you read great works, do you linger on the Creator's errors in life? No, you do not. You are inspired by the Creator's words, deeds, and creation. We are gods. We were created to be center of our own universe, and when we forfeit our godliness, we insult the primary creator. Don't you see that? Now, the thing to do is to ignore everything I have told you, but if a word or a sentence sparked some interest in you, then take that as the impetus to go and find your own truth. Just resist the temptation to believe that your truth is the only truth. So, go out and find out who you are and what you can accomplish being the creator that you are.